Let's discuss.
Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out 3 tracks from Vatican, all from their new record Ultra, which has just come out recently-ish. I was offline for a while, sick with COVID and such, as y'all know. I listened to the rest of this record besides the 3 tracks that I will be doing today. I will be finishing off the record. I've not listened to these songs. I've saved them to make videos for. They were recommended to me by Joe from Boolin Tunes, so shout out to Joe. He put this record on my radar a few months ago when he got his review copy and announced it, or not announced it, but told me it was his album of the year and such, so put it on my radar. These are 3 tracks, not in order, all of them. 2 of them are back-to-back, and they are actually the last 2 on the record, but I also will be checking out UltraGold, which was a single off the record, and then, as I mentioned, the last 2, which would be N.U.M.B, and then Did You Ever Notice I Was Gone? So I'm really excited to get those final pieces of the record, so I will have heard the full thing. I will just do them in order that they appear on the album, and then at the end of the video I will discuss and review as I usually do. So I'm loving this record. My favorite track has undoubtedly been Where Heavens Collide, but the whole thing has hit for me so far, so it's looking like a top of the list type of record. So those are my thoughts so far. I will include all of Vatican's social media in the description of this video. I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. So we'll be starting with UltraGold because that's the earliest on in the album, and it was a single, so that transition. Come on, in bass. So now I will do N.U.M.B and Did You Ever Notice back-to-back, since those are back-to-back on the playlist. Ooh, those vocals. Woo. That was cool.
Now let me in.
Okay, was not expecting that last breakdown there. Alright, this is the closer. Did you ever notice I was gone? I'm very excited to hear what the closer will be like on an album like this.
Did you ever notice I was gone? Ooh, voice lost in the room. Now the bridge has been drawn. And I know this all too well. It's just never in the pact that you're never coming back. Thought I'd cover you from cold. Then you peel my skin and burn my back.
Vatican, kinda Ultra, 3 songs off of Ultra, which I'm not gonna sandwich the names all together. Let's discuss. This record overall will be something that I keep on rotation throughout the rest of the year, I think for sure. Where Heavens Collide specifically is undoubtedly my favorite track off of this record. I think for my taste and such, that chorus, the heavier parts of it, I really enjoy. But then the balance between that and the chorus on that song just kind of make it something that will be really hard to top for my taste. The style of vocals in that chorus, the delivery on them, it's just, that's the bar for me. I love that. But I feel like in the closer, you get, it's the closest to that track, but I enjoy that the record it goes in such different directions other than that. I don't know that I feel like that song wouldn't stand out as much to me, you know, if there was a ton of it on the record. And the other song, like, for example, I listened to, I think Reverence was the first track I listened to off of this record to kind of get a feeler for it before I listened to anything else. And that one has, like, that heaviness, you know, the call out of the song name followed by, you know, tough instrumentals and such. And that is a really good kind of example if you look at that and then you look at Where Heavens Collide. Those two sounds between the album are really, I feel like, what you're working with the most. Having a bunch of, you know, shorter tracks that sort of a lot of the ones, like, looking at the track list prior to having listened to the record, I thought maybe there might be some interludes in there and such, but even the shorter tracks are a very full feeling, which I feel like might be a bit difficult to do. It's sometimes if there are shorter tracks like that throughout an album, I may not revisit those as much, but I found that I'm still including all those on the playlist. They're still, I don't know, I don't want to use the word fulfilling as if, like, I didn't expect the song to be fulfilling because it was short, but sometimes I do feel like with shorter songs I don't do as much revisiting if it doesn't feel as thorough as some other tracks on the record and such, and I don't get that feel from really long way to say I don't get that feel from the records on, or the songs on this record, but anyway. So with this, I think between these three, it's hard to pick because did you ever notice I really like the ambiance once you get to the breakdown portion of it. The other vocals in that track, I really liked. It works perfectly with that sound. Closing off the record too, kind of circling back to the softer side that you get, but in a different way for sure. Like I was saying, it felt different as the song was building up and such. It has a different instrumental feel, I think, than, you know, Where Heavens Collide and the sort of softer parts of the record that we get otherwise, but it still works really well to close off the record, if that makes sense. And with N.U.M.B being right before it, I really dug that track. It did feel sort of like the middle ground between these two songs that I did on this reaction video because, you know, you have that ending breakdown, which I also was not at all expecting. It sort of, you know, got a little bit choppy there, and then I thought it was ending, but having it go back around and go into that was a lot of fun, and just, yes, it's about, I think that one was a shorter-ish one, but not really for this record, if that makes sense. So it was like about a 3-minute track, if I'm not mistaken, I think. So with the variation in track times and such, it wasn't out of the question for the song to have been ending before it went into that final breakdown there. But through all, I think this record has a lot of, like, really solid groove to it, and the variety in the vocals, like, I think I had mentioned, I don't remember which track it was, maybe it was, I think it was either UltraGold or N.U.M.B, but there were some high vocals there that were just extremely on point, and it just, yeah, there's a variation that you get vocally here, and all of them are appealing to me. So favorite track on the record is still going to go to Where Heavens Collide. I do wish I made a video for that one, but there's no way to know going into a record that you have not heard before what is going to be your favorite track on it. So these three, very solid, and now I can listen to the record in full in order without having to, make my own queue or playlist that does not include these three. I can listen to it in full and get an idea of where it will be at on my list. It will definitely be on my list for end of the year records. This is a really solid, especially for a band I hadn't heard anything from prior. I'll need to go back and look at what else they may have in their discography prior to this, but I hadn't heard anything before I listened to Reverence off this album, and that was really the only track I listened to before I then went the day the record came out and listened to all of it. minus these 3 tracks. So on my first listen, these are my thoughts. I love this. The heaviness of it is really appealing to me. The grooves, like I was talking about, instrumentals get chaotic. There's a lot. I think that it's a wide sound that you're getting, because then, even though that I really am drawn to that throughout the album, my favorite part of the album ended up being something completely different. But that track is sort of like a one-off, I would say, almost, unless you count Did You Ever Notice I Was Gone? But I would almost consider them like 2 separate one-offs, if that makes sense, because they do have like a different feel. N.U.M.B was a lot of fun though. I really like that chorus, the pre-chorus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot more revisiting. So let me know what you thought, what your favorite track off of this album was, or tracks. If you agree with me about Where Heavens Collide, that is the jam. I cannot take that track off repeat. So I will link all of Vatican's social media and such in the description of this video. As always, I will link the 3 videos that I used in this as well in the description. So other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description. As always, it will have the invite for the Discord server, which we are coming up on the anniversary for the Discord server. We're going to try to plan an event, do some fun, video chat stuff in there. So if you're interested in coming to join, check that out. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link. I do post all music-related content on Instagram, whether it be my merch collection, which is never ending, constantly growing, shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, flags, vinyl, the whole deal. I'm constantly getting new stuff, so usually once or twice about merch per week, and then I may post about shows if I've been to a show recently and have anything to share from that. I do post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of that week. Sometimes I'll remember to post on my story about new videos. Sometimes it's new songs I found, stuff like that. So my handle on there is Rachel Reacts. It is the same as my YouTube channel, but again, if you are interested in following me, that will be in the link tree in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.